Hi everybody, gonna do a what am I wearing and why today. So I've got a Liverano olive linen sport coat. I've got an Ascot Chang button-down shirt in red and white striped cotton linen. I've got a pair of Pamela bespoke trousers, single pleat in very, very light beige. And I've got the Armoury's Broadway loafer. This is a prototype, so we're doing it in brown suede. We normally have it available in black calf. We floated the idea on Instagram and it was very popular, so I think this will go into production later this year. Wrist check today, I've got a Naoya Hida Type 1B, which is one of my favorite watches of all time. And why am I wearing this today? Well, A Collected Man, which you haven't seen before, is a great watch dealer and watch content maker based out of London, asked me to write a few words about two-tone watches. And you know, two-tone watches has never been something that I've thought that deeply about, has never really been something that I've written about. But as I was sitting down and putting the article together, I was like, oh, this is actually pretty fun, pretty interesting. You know, everyone has these like kind of hazy memories of, say, a parent or a grandparent wearing a Rolex Datejust in two-tone. And then it's kind of faded a little bit, maybe into obscurity, you could say, you know, today in 2020. But that's a good thing. Maybe it's a time for it to come back. So hopefully this video will spark a little discussion about two-tone watches. A Collected Man asked me, how do you style a two-tone watch, right? Is it formal or not, and how do you style it? Firstly, is it formal or not? Well, it's really hard to say. Like, you got to look at the configuration of it, you got to see if it's on a bracelet, you got to see, like when you look at it, you will get a better sense of like, oh, this is a very dressy watch. But for me, I actually prefer two-tone watches as like something that's a little bit more casual and a little more classic, like a little old-fashioned in a good way. I've got one example in my pocket here, which I really wanted to show you as a way to illustrate not just what's special about two-tone watches, but also how to style it. So this is a Grand Seiko SPGV 238. It is actually a limited edition quartz watch they did about 2 years ago. And what's really funny is they made a display back for the quartz movement, which I thought was very amusing. I really like it, actually. It's a beautiful watch. And what really kind of interests me in it is the fact that it's got very, very gold hands and markers on this steel case. And I thought about it, and I struggle to imagine gold hands and gold markers on a steel watch looking that harmonious. You know, it might jump out a little bit too much, and it might make the gold feel like it's very concentrated in one section of the dial. But when you turn into a two-tone watch, where say you have an accompanying bracelet in steel and gold, and you also have the bezel in gold, then I think there's like a really nice harmony to it, and it gives the watch a color combination that you just couldn't really achieve otherwise. Now, with a two-tone watch, I think I would still prefer it off the bracelet. Right, so that's why I put it on this strap. This is a Jean Rousseau strap. We actually sell them in the store. If you're ever interested in one, we can do them special order. We have stock. With this strap, like what I was really trying to do was try to pick up the color of the gold and of the champagne dial. You know, so like this taupe kind of hints at the gold and also really like echoes the champagne in the center of the dial. In terms of styling it and what sort of clothes you would put it with, I like these colors, right? Again, it's about picking up the warm colors. So you've got this warm olive, you've got this warm red, and I think that works really nicely together. I'm trying to move around a little bit just so you can really see like the glint of the gold when it's against these warmer colors. And you know, with a taupe strap like this, like it goes really well against light colors like beige. So hopefully this has inspired you to jump down a rabbit hole of your own on two-tone watches. I think a couple of interesting places to start from. Obviously Rolex Datejusts, one of my favorite configurations, which is in the modern catalog, is they do a rose gold and gray dial one, which I think is awesome. The FP Journe T30, one of the ultimate watches of all time, also two-tone, which a lot of people actually forget about. And my colleague Jan actually reminded me, if you're gonna talk about two-tone, like the first thought is always like gold and steel or like gold and something else, but actually tantalum and steel, right? Audemars Piguet's tantalum and steel Royal Oaks are awesome, and those are technically two-tone because you got that dark gray tantalum with that lighter gray steel. So have a look around. There's some awesome watches out there that are two-tone that have unfortunately been kind of forgotten about, and I think it's time to start bringing them back to the fore. If you have any thoughts of your own on two-tone watches, we'd love to hear from you. Please leave a comment. Thanks for watching.